campered down at the airstrip on a cold and gloomy day, and the six aboard all knew their homes were very far away. The strife that gripped the forest all around them was their plight. They knew that something out there wasn't right.
Nicolo, Nikolai, Nicolas, Nick, and Nick.
Nicholas. It's just Santa Claus.
And Nikita.
See, what you don't know is he also has some massive hair too. It's just under the hat.
Alright, checking audio levels, looking at the little icon.
Checking audio levels. Audio levels.
Check 1 2 3. Check 1 2 3.
1 2 3.
Okay, now.
1 2 3.
Erase my old timestamps. Make some new
Bob's
ones.
an old time.
Is it on?
Yeah.
God damn.
Sorry.
Ow.
I'm sorry.
Switch my name over.
Why? I have my headphones cranked up for these. Oh. I'm opening this session with that just so everybody hates you.
Mop. Mop.
It's gonna be a nice change from the
levels.
absolutely silentness that some of the videos have been.
I fixed all that now. Usually they open with the music, or they open with us ending our silly conversation. Nah, I'm gonna have this one just open with that. Just.
You're not gonna have our spitballing of Nikos, Nikolai, Nicololo.
Oh, that's in there. I've been recording all these little things. At some point, I'm gonna do something with all of them. I don't know what, but I'm gonna find something to do with them.
Make a compilation of just random bullshit we talk
Pretty
about.
much, yeah.
You're gonna make a compilation of all the slurs we say as soon as the session's over.
Well, no, he stops recording,
I don't
so he doesn't
those
have
ones
them
on
recorded.
file.
I
Well,
figured he
probably
didn't
could.
actually stop. That's probably not something to upload.
Probably not. I don't know if that's something that should hit the interwebs.
Would be funny to see though.
At the end of every session, just 8-minute long, solid back-to-back, just you guys lose your shit.
Okay. Who would like to do the recap for last session?
Oh goodness. I mean, a lot happened last time we were here. And no one else is gonna. Okay. Let me,
Well, Mr. Speaker.
let me page through some notes here real quick. Oh yes, of course. Rudolph Hess. Yeah, I'm getting him helium. Oh man, yeah, there's a lot happened last time.
What a great guy that Hess.
He was very polite.
Very big
We-
face.
We also raided Craven's room, stole some pomade.
I mean, that wasn't the important part. The important part was the wax cylinder, and also the
That
all
too.
of the pictures of his documents and his plans for the future. I mean, quite useful information for Swinton.
We also talked to some death blacksmiths and got a copper ball commissioned.
Of course. Yeah, oh yes, and then of course I swindled $1,400 from Swinton. 1,500 actually, which is 300 less than I'm going to pay for the commission. So that's a net positive $300 gain.
Nice. Torn also stabbed himself in the chest.
Hey, it was a demonstration.
Ritualistic sacrifice.
Of course. Oh no, sorry. got a lot of information about the cataclysm. Quite interesting from Miss Marianne. And a lot of stuff at play. It's hard to summarize. It's hard to summarize things, isn't it?
We showed our great espionage ability by talking to that goblin.
Yes, of course.
Oops.
You were very subtle.
I know.
Bienvenue, fellow thieves.
I'll admit, not my finest work.
It was hilarious. I wouldn't have it any other way. Hello there, Goblin. Would you like to steal a thing?
Just two audible blinking sounds.
Last time on Due West, we committed racism.
Yeah.
And not against the people you would imagine.
Yes, we accidentally, of course, reasserted the Soviet people's perception of how great communism is through the discussion of the streetcar system in Boston, Massachusetts.
Ah, yeah.
They took what they needed away from that conversation.
Will they implement it? Likely not.
Oh yes,
No,
Tori
they just-
Nikos harassed Craven on purpose by having a really loud conversation about the weather while he was trying to think.
Mm-hmm.
And make googly faces.
Hachu then later harassed Craven by making lots of distracting tongue movements during his speech.
Not related.
We've been riding
Oh
the
yeah,
edge.
we committed felony theft, but
Well, I mean,
You know, it's fine.
you know,
It's against the Italians.
the scroll is questionable if it was a felony, the wax cylinder, but that pomade was probably pretty expensive.
poor bastard.
I'm just saying.
Oh, definitely. Niccolo only buys the best.
Well, you would know you're half him.
I know. That's why I'm saying he only buys the best.
Who knows if our hoplite fight is actually going to happen?
I mean, you guys would have to set it up for it to happen.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe could
That
a
would be
great
very funny.
distraction.
Because to clarify, I am going to have Nikos play against himself.
Yeah, I've done it before, so.
Like I said, that could make a useful distraction, maybe, while everyone's gathered around watching two hoplites fight in a square. Not many people may be looking at the artifact hall.
True.
Alright, anything else needs summarized?
Do you guys think anything else needs summary?
I don't know, what do we got? Rudolph Hess, we got the meetings and the stuff at the Golden Circle.
We stared at the
Roy.
monkey again.
We again looked at the monkey.
Again, failed the checks on the monkey.
Yes. Monkey.
Stare at the monkey.
Monkey.
We are now getting ready to observe the Soviet speech, and then is that the next morning? Or is
No,
that-
it's the evening of the current day.
Right,
What
it's
is day
final
3 now?
It's very latter part of day 3.
And how long is this convention? You said it was 5? Or
Technically 4.
And
fifth
then
day
on
is you
the
guys
morning
leaving.
of the 5th, you guys head out, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
You guys are scheduled for a trip on the Graf Zeppelin.
Oh, wonderful. Torian's gonna love that.
And it's... Yeah. Don't smoke. Alright. I believe
I'm not your dad.
you guys were making your way out of the bedrooms after having harassed poor Niccolo and stolen his pomade.
It's not
I
harassment.
believe so. Yes.
Poor Niccolo. He's just trying to do his job. I believe we were heading to the courtyard after that.
Oh yeah, because that was always the area where everybody schmoozes for in between.
Yep. A little interlude here. If y'all will give me a minute to reorganize the people present.
So what do you think the Soviets are going to present?
I don't know, but something tells me it's going to be interesting no matter what.
Oh, I'm sure. After interacting with them and seeing them around, it promises to be exciting.
I'm just wondering how they're going to work communism into it.
Poorly, I imagine.
Be careful, don't let them hear you. I feel like we spent the better time, a lot of our time in this courtyard, standing around awkwardly. Perhaps we should flatten eyes with some of the other guests. I see Miyazaki. No, shut up.
What's his name?
Yeah.
The Japanese guy.
Ichiro Miyaju. Ah, you got me doing it.
Ichiro. Mia what?
Miyaguchi.
Miyaguchi is speaking with Craven, which I do not
Mia
quite like
Fuji, not Mia. You're all so
Mia Fuji.
uncultured.
much. Fuji.
Fuji, not Gucci.
Mia Gucci.
You watch
Gucci.
anime. You're the least likely one that should be messing this up.
I couldn't remember off the top of my head. He completely screwed me by saying it wrong the first time.
Genius.
Fuji.
Mia Fuji.
Yeah, Fuji.
It's like the mountain.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dare I say we go ensnare ourselves in conversation?
All right. Well, who do you want to talk to?
Let's just go over there and see what happens. Everyone's already kind of talking, I think. So it's just like I'm bad at this, okay? Didn't you go to college? Aren't you used to socializing?
Yeah.
All right, well let's go. Lead the way.
Let's see.
Just pawning it off on Nikos. Find someone to talk to for me.
Yeah, right.
Arrange me a play date.
Ooh, it's all around. Questions I don't know who to talk to either.
God,
Lean on the fountain.
look around, stretch a little.
Perhaps.
Percy's kind of hanging out. Apples is looking wistfully at the fountain.
Torin kind of wants to eavesdrop on the conversation that Mia Fuji and Craven are having. In a preferably subtle way.
Roll me a stealth and a perception check. Since you're there, Apples, why don't you roll me a perception check?
Hell yeah. Bam! 24.
Well, I'd certainly beat 17. Apple's looking up from the fountain to see you just absolutely mad dogging Mia Fuji and Craven.
Trying to read lips.
She kind of keeps
Okay.
her arms crossed, leaned forward, and just kind of looks over her shoulder. Perks one ear up. looks back over towards Torn.
Uh,
Psst, hey,
Alright.
maybe do something and you won't seem so obvious. Unless you're trying to get his attention and act like you're doting on him.
Just, I don't like the black gobble talking to my previous acquaintances, so.
Well, either you're in love with him or you're spying on him. You're not really doing a good in-between.
You've been standing here listening to everything, right?
It's kind of what I do. Like, wiggles one of her rather large goblet ears.
Then what are they talking about?
I wasn't actually listening.
I thought that says it. You know what?
Do you want me to listen?
If you want, yeah, sure, that'd be nice.
Since you clearly roll perception better than I do.
Apples will kind of just angle her head back a little bit. You see one of her ears perk up a little more, and she'll try to fucking listen in.
those ginormous ears. Roll me stealth and perception with advantage.
Ooh, okay.
It's weird that goblins' enormously large ears are pointed right at us.
22 for stealth, 21 perception.
Damn.
She is an observer, not so hands-on. Who knows what she's heard?
Yeah.
Everything.
You need to tighten the screws on the legs of your bed.
It's not my bed.
Yeah, she's just kind of leaning forward. You just see her kind of perk one of her ears and just kind of gives a tiny smirk at the corner of her mouth, just kind of listening in.
Why are you smirking?
I think I hear Red stomach gurgling.
No, listen to not that.
I'm listening.
Did you see my DMs, Torn?
No, let me look.
Ooh.
You didn't catch much, but you did catch a little.
Oh, okay.
Let's see, what is Apples here?
A very misspelled sentence, I am sure.
Potentatal.
Shut up.
Alright. Yeah, Apples just kind of listens for about half a minute. Starts nodding a little bit. Snaggletooth kind of shows a little bit more. Yeah, it's kind of boring, to be honest.
Brief. Can you give me a quick brief?
Craven seems dissatisfied. Miyafuji seems disheartened, to say the least. I think they're both a little upset about the London Naval Treaty and using magical power, and I guess the British won't really give too much way in terms of classifying ship weight or something.
That's enough, thank you. I just look, this whole thing's got me a little on edge.
Do you need help relaxing?
No.
Usually when I need to relax, I'll just eat something.
You know, that's not a bad idea.
I don't know if coffee, but maybe a tea or one of those little cakes that they got with the little chocolate drizzle. Oh, it's so good.
Yes, thank you for the help. I'm going to continue to and socialize.
You know, you'd probably blend in a lot more if you did. Find someone that you know and strike up some conversations. Get to know some names. Can't hurt.
I've already met Has.
Yeah?
Never mind. Thank you.
I'll be here.
Torin's just gonna stroll. Oh no. He's stroll between two people that he's just gonna like try to like walk between them while looking casual, while realizing that the situation with both of them is awkward.
Oh no.
Just stroll on between them.
Craven doesn't seem to give too much notice, and I imagine the other group are in the throes of talking about, No, and Eugen being in that circle, probably talking about, non-humanoid rights being expanded further in different European countries.
Oh god, Torin's gonna do the awkward, like, autism thing where he just turns in and, like, adds unasked information.
Oh.
Probably with a history check, because I don't know all of it off the top of my head, but...
On their conversation, or
Yeah.
On their conversation, the guy's just right north there. They're like, oh yeah, non-human rights. And Torin butts in with that, and then whatever it is, I guess, based on a history check, maybe?
yeah, why don't you take this one, Nox? This is more your lore wheelhouse.
Alrighty. Yeah, roll history, and I'll, see what you recall off the top of your head.
That is,
Ooh.
Okay, but really mediocre for...
Could be better, but yeah, let me, grab some intel here. Unless you just want to kind of spitball something.
I mean, just Torin's like, oh yeah, I've actually heard about that topic before. I can't believe that fucking... I don't know.
Just kind of a shorter mouse that looks kind of like a naval officer's uniform with like a Victorian era jacket with tails. Obviously notice he is a kind of mouseling with what looks like kind of like very short stubby horns on the front of his head, and two instead of one mouse tails. Kind of looks over towards you and smiles a little bit. Oh, I didn't see you there.
So I was strolling and eavesdropping a bit, but I couldn't help it over here. This discussion, obviously, I'm a bit entrapped in it, given my...
Well, I understand you kobolds have maybe a quarter of the rights that some of us have been granted so far, and he kind of gestures towards the Dragonborn and the Tiefling, who kind of give nods as well.
Of course, and I've had to make up for it through, strives and intelligence and competency. It doesn't hold me back much, luckily. Although technically I'm not allowed to possess a driver's license in the state of Massachusetts, but that's another story.
Ah, yes. Well, I feel, with our education, we're usually able to circumvent those things with having our own drivers, isn't that right?
Yeah, but I like driving.
I can't imagine the, states, whether the northern or the southern ones, will allow kobolds to drive maybe anytime soon, but yeah, who knows? With your status, you could possibly find yourself having more access to things like that Craven kobold over there.
Yes. Wait, I'm sorry, what about him?
Well, he's obviously very affluent, so he's probably given much more access to things than your common non-humanoid like ourselves.
Yes, I would assume so.
It wasn't only 2 years ago I was finally granted the permission to actually own the land that I purchased in France a couple years.
Oh, congratulations. That's actually a considerable step, given your... I'm sorry, not to be rude, but what... The horns and the tails are throwing me off a little bit.
Ah. Yes, I understand. They look a bit like I believe the Japanese call them nekomadas, a often feline race that deals with the devilries and some of the lesser realms that most would just call hell. But no, I am a Oni, a lesser demon of a more hellish persuasion. But you can refer to me as a, what was the term that I believe an admiral gave me? A deals devil, I think he called it.
That's very interesting.
And I've found myself rather positioned at a good point to sign a lot of deals and barters and find myself pushing a lot of paperwork for higher-ups.
I'm quite glad that the social stigma of being a demon has not interfered with your ability to work. It normally does. You must be very good at what you do.
Oh, very. In fact, I get most of my powers from signing deals. And he kind of holds up a hand, and you can see from the end of his tails a kind of yellowish and grayish and a couple of green, small, sort of spectral threads kind of show that he kind of intertwines between some fingers. And they kind of just go off into the distance and start to disappear. These are the sum of the deals that I've made, that through these deals I'm able to garner more power and influence. Something as small as I'll open the door for you in X amount of years, or officiate this wedding and ensure that they remain together. Deals can take many different forms.
I see. Look, I'll keep that in mind.
If you ever need paperwork or perhaps a deal or a barter or agreement, whether across realms or just across the Atlantic, please do. I apologize, I haven't even introduced myself. My name is Eugen Yamai.
Torrin Levencroft. And handshake.
He'll extend a nice hand out, gives a pretty good firm handshake.
But yes, of course, I'll keep that in mind. That's actually quite useful to know, especially the across realms thing. I'm caught up in this and that right now. I don't know.
Well, it would seem you have spoken with quite a few from what we've gathered. You have actually been the circle of some conversations. I understand your speech is coming up?
Yeah, yes, it is. Tomorrow.
I can only imagine they likely gave you something trivial to speak on, as many of these discussions have been.
In fact, they did.
Nah.
Not necessarily trivial. It's quite very interesting in the grand scheme of history, but given the fact and the nature of this meeting, it might fall flat, which is why I've taken liberties to, of course, make it interesting.
Well, I will say, at least among us here in this small circle, we are looking forward to it. And I dare say there's others who are probably looking forward to it more.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm quite flattered. I'm glad to know that I have so far made a good impression, given not everybody here is potentially an ally of mine.
Not everybody is an ally, but I will say you've kept interest. There's willingness to make alliances, more than likely.
That's good to know.
Torrin's gonna look awkwardly up at the
German
the
tiefling.
guy who he psychologically damaged the previous day on accident.
He's making a little bit of an effort to avoid eye contact with you and carrying on the discussion with the dragon guy next to him. He's not trying to be rude, but he's trying to act like he hasn't noticed you for, I presume, obvious reasons.
So, Hatu is a question there.
What exactly are you trying to do, Hachu?
Go invisible without people seeing me.
I love it.
There are a few places you could try, but security is pretty well laid out here.
This is lay down behind the bush. Ah, yes.
Hedges
What a
around there
nice
like waist
spot
high.
for a nap. Yes, I will lay down here and stay here for several minutes.
Well, I could just go to the bathroom and just come back invisible.
Still,
Could work.
Lasts up to an hour, so
yeah, go hit the head.
Is that what he's gonna do? Oh no.
let's
I mean,
see
that's up to him.
invisible. Yeah, sure, why not? Whoop.
All right, coming back in. Yeah, you come up to a pair of closed doors while invisible.
Oh no.
What's the DC to beat to see your invisibility?
Would be my spell modifier. Yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be a 17.
Damn. Continues splashing in the
just-
puddle.
Just sit right here next to the commies.
Roll me stealth to get through the door.
Ah, this is where the plan falls apart.
It must have been doing.
Casting.
Worse.
Uh-oh.
Must have been the wind.
The policeman. Yeah, there's a draft.
As you can you put yourself right back over here?
Oh, boys, the
As
jig is
you
up.
start opening as you start opening the door, you see a policeman come over and reach for the wand on his hip before politely asking you to please, whoever you are, please stop that. It is not something we would like happening here during the event.
He just looks
Anyway, I could
unamused.
Go away quietly without saying anything. Just disappear.
I mean, you can try.
you may try.
Why am I picturing Hachu pressing himself against the wall like Gronk from Emperor's New Groove? Just.
In my head, he's like just through the door, so his like upper body's just through the door, and the door is closed on his tail.
He's just
Like, it's
slamming it
closed all
repeatedly.
the
Why
way.
can't I close the door?
It's like half closed, and there's a police officer standing in front of him, staring at where there's obviously an invisible person with a long tail. Arms crossed, wand in one hand. How do you want to get out of this, Hachu? Or are you just gonna drop it?
Well, you see, sir, how much do you like communists?
How much?
Ah, so I was right. I do not particularly like the communists. Why do you say that? What are you planning to do?
I'm just gonna listen to what they have to say.
Roll me persuasion.
Oh my god.
Austrian sanctioned spycraft.
Average roll.
I do not think that would be a good idea, sir. They are supposed to be very powerful mages and would likely notice you, and we cannot have such a thing reflecting badly on the Republic of Austria. Please do drop your invisibility.
Alright, it's worth a shot. Just snap my fingers and go back visible.
Thank you, sir. He reholsters his wand and goes back to hanging out.
And what? I just go and just nice little stroll on by them. Anyways,
I'm trying to casually listen in.
yeah.
Roll me stealth and perception.
Just play it off as being awkward.
I'll give you the perception roll first because I grabbed it first. Then I just rolled it. Hey.
Oh,
not bad.
Check your DMs un momento. That's not how you spell that.
Really?
Yeah, really.
How did they get the twist on the edge of their croissants to do that?
That would be very funny, but no.
We must learn this power for the People's Commissariat of Croissant.
The Commisswan.
What is one?
Hang on. Is this fucking loss?
What? What are you talking about?
No, it can't
What
be.
are you talking about?
Boom, boom. Boom, boom.
What are you talking about? You're not seeing hidden messages. What are you talking about? Are you
I quit.
suggesting I hid a message in the courtyard grass and in the hedges?
I quit. That's it. Campaign over.
It's been rigged. It's all been
I was wondering if anyone was gonna notice.
God damn it.
This is cursed ground. There's evil magic here.
I knew I was seeing a pattern the whole time, and it just clicked.
I just tried to make it look like some random hedges. What are you talking about? You guys have been here 3 days now? It's like, wait a minute, is
Oh
this
my
lost?
god.
I thought I hit it pretty good.
Well, you did. It took us this long to notice.
Once again, the least likely person to notice my musings is Matt. He just comes in swinging. Is this lost?
Alright, someone's getting fucking shanked.
All right. After learning that, Hachu, do you have anything to say, or are you just gonna carry on with your passage?
It's good. As soon as I'm out of like earshot, I'm going to start snickering a little bit.
Damn, dick.
This apple's
They're
noticed
communists.
the
What do you
large
expect me to do?
snake snickering to himself as he slithers back from cloaking.
Roll perception.
Ew. Perception, that's a 16.
Yeah, you noticed the snake snickering to himself while looking at the fountain.
Squints for like half a moment, kind of looks down the path, looks back up towards him as he's like slinking by. Something funny?
Yeah, something is very a little funny.
Just kind of raises one brow, and slowly the other brow raises, giving kind of an expectant look.
Communists have silly behavior.
I thought it was something actually funny.
That's why it's only a little funny.
No, there's other ways to listen to people.
Well, I did try another way, but I didn't get too very far with it.
Imagine if you find a, maybe a really out of the way under a box or under a chair, maybe, and I don't know, if a wizard was to open a dimension door, you could hear through it for a little while. But what do I know? Kind of leans in, splashes the water a little.
I'm a little big to be underneath the chair, but it might be a really big chair one day.
Her shoulders deflate a little bit. You don't put your head through it. Never mind. You're doing great. It just goes back to looking at her reflection.
For someone so smart, you're not so smart.
Hachu Johnson, everybody.
High intelligence, low wisdom.
Yeah.
All right, Nikos. As you're kind of walking up to Guso, talking to the Confederates, you hear Guso say something along the lines of, "Ah, madame, this is a very interesting topic to me. As here in the old world, magic had almost entirely died out by the time of the Cataclysm, but learning about some of the ways that your natives continued to practice it despite how weak it had become is quite interesting. Do tell more."
Well, from what I have understood and come to understand is, I assume you may be a little bit more familiar, it's the, I guess to say they had a bit more connection with kind of the natural bits of the earth, the, kind of, like your druidic magic and your, kind of druid practices. Although, it's usually pretty, I don't want to call it druid magic, because it seems more like a natural and kind of nature
The
magic.
natural magics.
Precisely. It's, it was always a unique mix of ceremony and various, almost sounds like what you would hear out of the old wizards from England and up in Scotland and the like, or some of the tales you hear about the old Polish and Latvians when the church was trying to press them out. But a lot of their shamans always had kind of kept that connection.
Do you think there is any... I'm doing the German one. Fuck.
He's drifting.
I am drifting.
From Alsace.
Madame, do you think there is any particular reason for this? I have long theorized that it is due to their lack of possible industry and such things. Since they were a very primitive civilization, it allowed them to remain connected with the still dwindling magics of the world. Back to the German.
Me personally, I have heard a lot of different arguments in that regard. One of those in particular was them not having a connection with God or any of the other deities of the universe. They were able to remain close, like you were saying. Others were suggesting, I've heard it said, oh, no real money system and none of the more human-like spoils that would distract you and pull you away, or none of the industry, but I'm not entirely sure myself.
My personal theory is that because they did not, for whatever reason, develop the industry and the sciences that we have here in the old world, or back to the German, that we have here in Madame, that we have here in the... I'm just doing the fucking German. I can't not
He's
do
from
it.
Alsace-Lorraine. He's German and French.
In the old world. That gotta think about what I'm saying and do the accent. It's not happening. Um, um, that because they did not develop the sciences, especially things like the science of medicine and such, they did not have reason to abandon the old ways. Here in the old world, we were able to come up with new medicines to surpass the general low-level healing capabilities of the old magics. But in the new world, because of their more primitive state, they still needed to cling to those traditions.
A lot of people would argue the arcane ability surpassed the natural ability.
That is true today, but I do not think that was. I'm still doing the German. I do not think that was true in the pre-calamity time. A
Oh,
doctor in, say, the
pish,
1700s.
pish. Most science is just less magical arcane practice. You're mixing elements and mixing materials, using certain processes and doing little dances around certain things to make specific results happen. Most alchemy is just arcane practice broken down to elements and minerals.
I suppose that is true.
Even non-magic technology could seem magical to someone who isn't familiar with it.
Oh, hello. And
Hello.
you would be right.
Bonjour.
We're just discussing the sort of philosophical differences between arcane and magic and sorcery, and kind of how the Native Americans were able to keep more of their connection with the magic that be.
Yes, I overheard. I didn't want to interrupt, but I did have a question for you, Miss Griffiths.
Of course.
You mentioned that during your speech, your husband was part of the group that was involved with defeating Mars in the U.S., correct?
Correct.
How exactly did that happen? I found in a history book that they somehow convinced Gaia, or the Native American representation of Gaia, to be involved. Would you be willing to share how all of that happened?
Ah, yes. Well, obviously a lot of it was secondhand. I did have the privilege of getting to meet Miss Makawee herself only a handful of times. But to give a little bit of context around it, Gaia is multiple aspects of the Earth. Mother Earth, or all the different names and belongings that she might have, essentially became 20 different entities. And you can imagine the kind of problems that would cause: the oceans, the earth, the trees, the wind. Thankfully, Makawee did retain a good majority of these personages, so needing to get her back to maintaining total control became the most pressing endeavor for her. However, she was completely lost. She had no idea how things were working. She was still getting a grasp on being mortal for that regard. And, I will admit, it's a little humorous, but of course my Leon wouldn't cheat on me, but she was dreadfully sought after him and pursuing him, and if it wasn't for him being such a, card in a ways, and seeing through the dilemma that she had, he kind of led her on in a sense to motivate her to reconnect her other bits and reform Gaia as it should be. But, well, I think the main thing that kind of brought it all together was, the British chronomancer that they met. If it wasn't for him being immediately on the run and pursued by different entities at different colleges he belonged to, they would have had no real reason to actually band and start working together. But once they realized what was going on, and all of them, including Leon, kind of put themselves aside to prioritize recollecting her other personages. I believe the first one that they did try to collect was, I forget the name, but it was a personage of hers that took the form of a very large catfish that I believe was floating off the coast of Florida. They managed to convince him to rejoin and reacclimate to Gaia. And from there, I believe they went after 2 other entities before, if I'm not mistaken, Makui was kind of inspired by Leon to have a game of wits with the deity known as Delta and bring him back into the fold. Not every detail was shared, and I will admit, some of it I would have liked to hear, but... what specific parts were you wanting to hear? How they perhaps fought Mars, or how he got involved in the whole thing?
How they came into conflict with him and the conflict itself.
That's a fun story altogether, and actually kind of directly involves me. You see, in my process to start exploring the cosmos and figuring out, I wanted to find out for myself if I could directly converse with some of these other celestial entities, and utilizing Ghost Stone and a rather fantastical arcane contraption that allowed me to peer through lenses of Ghost Stone to view these planets directly. I was hoping to directly magically view the entities that lie within them. Unfortunately, you could say I gazed a little too far, and I actually found myself underneath Mars's, how would you say, persuasions. He
influenced you.
Took control of me. And through that process, I guess garnered that the Confederacy's stockpile of money, a somewhat rumor that floated around that the Confederacy had a very large stockpile of pirate gold that we had hid somewhere in northern Texas, buried it away. Unfortunately, it turns out he was right in his speculation. The Golden Circle, before I became part of that endeavor, did hide away a rather large amount of gold, and he figured the best way to start usurping some of these governments was to influence them directly with Confederate gold. So, through utilizing me, he made some allies and worked with some gangs, a certain kobold gang in specific, to start hunting down this rumored gold and dig it up. Fortunately, they never found it because I never actually knew where it was. During this time, Leon, being the perceptive man he was, and through the help of one of his Union comrades, ended up realizing that this Pink Gang was looking specifically for this rumored golden stockpile and pursued it back to its source. Well, colored Leon's surprise when he realized it was me and thought I was double-crossing him. Luckily, he was able to see through it, and through some means that I will admit he's maybe not too proud of. He did unfortunately have to sever my ties with Mars by severing my mortal coil. But he is a paladin, and was able to bring me back rather quickly. And with me able to divulge all this information that Mars was doing, he was able to realize that Mars's attempt to physically bring himself to Earth's plane, to Gaia's plane, which obviously Makui took exception to, as she's the representative of Earth, and the celestial bodies aren't exactly supposed to be warring with each other. This was figured out way back in the Roman and Greek days. I'm sure you're familiar. Saturn and Mars always roughing it up out there and fighting over trivial things. So, between Earth and backing up my husband, they were able to go to where they met up in Alabama, and specifically in Birmingham, and kind of stop the little landing party that tried to make itself known. after conquesting that, utilizing a little bit of Confederate cavalry and some other hired mercenaries, Makui had some stiff words with Mars, and he promised to no longer try to overstep earthly endeavors. Then, of course, the little dragon friend that the party had, once he found himself in his position, kind of kept a bit of a promissory tab on Mars, who's, to my hopes, kept him in place. Mars is no longer trying to usurp other planets. Unless, of course, you're maybe, perhaps, empowered by Mars, judging by your very hoplite-looking stance, although I don't believe you call him Mars. I think you might call him
No,
Tyr,
it'd be
or
Ares for me.
Ares, that would be it.
But no, I am not.
Oh. Well, I see you are, I believe, a water genasi, perhaps one of the River King.
Indeed.
Can't
Does
say I'm-
Makui take exception to other deities acting out on the material plane other than the celestial bodies, or does she really only take exception to them in particular?
Well, that's a hard answer. She's, oh, how would I say? Well, she was mortal. She acted with a very, what we would understand, a more physical case-by-case attraction. If she found them perhaps satiable or desirable, she would entertain working with them. If not so much, then she'd usually keep them at more of an arm's distance. She was a very, physical opinion
The Zeus approach. I see.
Quite so. I will say, as Gaia, she definitely hasn't shown any of that, being more of herself, but while she was on the mortal realm, one of her main benefactors was what we would know to be the sort of essence of life, of birth and beginning. In the most raw state that you can imagine. She was quite literally empowered by infatuation and the physical act of beginning new life. So you can imagine she was rather persuaded by that, and I will say my husband was rather effective at kind of twirling her around his pinky. But giving her the, how do you say, the Zeus persuasion was rather effective way to describe how she, at least while on Earth, enacted her diplomacy. Although I have been able to discuss with her, as I personally have no way to actually reach her realm or speak with her anymore. To my understanding, the bodies that represent the different Celestials aren't supposed to be directly conversed with unless you're one of their patrons, and well, I would imagine most of your druids don't specifically talk directly to Gaia herself. More so one of her emissaries, be it the wind, the earth, the oceans, things of that sort. But if you do ever find yourself in the realm of needing to speak with her, I would highly suggest maybe the best way to do that might be on American soil. Perhaps even closer to
I
the
see.
Calamity, as, dare I say, that is a rather open gash in her personhood. While it is patrolled and secured, it's, still presently open, and perhaps with the right friendships you could find yourself making some pretty decent deals and perhaps conversing with them. But I, of course, don't overlook that.
I see. Thank you.
Of course.
That was rather insightful.
Glad to be of help. I noticed your little kobold friend is, making some inspired friends and enemies, so I'd like to be involved.
That he is.
Kind of look back to Guso and go back to her conversation. Dontrell was just standing there fucking picking at, like, the edge of her pinky a little bit with her thumb the whole time, just kind of not listening.
I said meet her. I hardly know her.
Can I roll to make strain?
Carrying over to the other campaign. Take 1 strain.
Got it. I'll write that down.
Write that down. Write that down.
Anyone else you guys want to talk to or try and listen into?
And I assume Torrent's gonna stay with this group, just idly conversing for a while until it's time for the Russians to shine.
Alrighty.
No, I've had the conversation I wanted.
Eventually, their conversation will go from the rights of, in quotations, lesser or other beings, and eventually will start reverting to the Dragonborn and the Mouse Kami, kind of prattling on about how they are still, despite finally owning land, still can't get the licenses and OKs to start growing grapes on it because they want to start a winery.
Would Torrent know any perhaps legal loopholes to interject with?
Who would want to buy wine from a mouse anyway? Now, buying cheese from a
Racist.
mouse, they know cheese. That's the business you want to get into.
Very harmful stereotype on mouselings, thank you very much.
Actually, you're right. That probably is.
As opposed to the demonic lawyer. That's not a harmful stereotype.
He's Canadian
imagine him
Japanese. His name's
Getting bullied in high school, fucking, oh look, the mouse boy wants some cheese, squeak squeak, look, I got some Swiss here. Woo, woo, woo.
Hey, he's a very prominent fucking house commie mouseling, but fucking
He still got bullied in high school for being a mouse. We all know he did.
out of character, he is considered the lowest form of kami and oni, so yeah. Like, the mouse mata is like 10 steps under the neko mata and every other type of Japanese folklore demon and kami, so...
Oh yeah, can you DM me the spelling of Makuoi,
Sure.
please? Thank you. Because I think I have it spelled like 3 or 4 different ways each time.
Wait.
With 2 E's.
Maki
Thank
Hamiha.
us. Thank you.
I'm gonna roll history on potential legal loopholes.
Yeah, roll history. Let's see if Torn maybe read up on Damn.
First, you gotta create a trust.
Hey DM, do you have any ideas?
want me to handle this?
Yeah, but I'm gonna let you establish, because I'm not super into legalese. What would be a way that a non-citizen would be able to get legal stuff?
See, your problem is you're trying to produce the correct documents under your own name, which unfortunately isn't going to yield them. What you need to do is realistically put the land in a trust and then give that land, or say trust that land to a specific individual who has rights, whom you trust very much, and therefore they can be the figurehead of the operation while you actually run it and reap the finances. It'll cost you 1 to 2%, but I mean it's still a reality as long as you're okay with your name not being directly attached to the work.
The mouse kind of raises the cigarette up and takes a puff, kind of thinking and nodding for a moment, and then looks over towards you with kind of a head tilt. Do you happen to know if thralls and perhaps, indentured beings, whether human or not, were still allowed to retain their land ownership and holdings even after death?
I guess it depends on how good your lawyer is.
By the way, would you like to make a small deal, perhaps? He gives the smallest smile, and despite not taking a drag on his cigarette, a second small cloud of kind of grayish smoke comes out of the corner of his mouth.
Do not be offended if I say no, but I am slightly curious to hear it.
Well, I am a deals commie, so perhaps this is an endeavor we can look into in the future, working together.
What is a winery?
Well, helping me with access to starting my winery. You see, I would like to make some wine of a more fey nature. As you can imagine, some deities like ourselves and various persuasions, normal human wine just doesn't quite have the same buzz. The sooner we can perhaps get a fey wine of sorts on the market, sooner those of us of non-human persuasion, no offense, sir, can start appreciating the finer qualities.
That does sound like a fantastic idea. Would surely make a lot of money. I assume that's one of the goals, probably.
The other
I still
idea bouncing across my head is perhaps finding a way to purchase a plot of land in the Fey realm, as I don't believe there's any jurisdiction there other than through the Fey. However, I personally can't step foot there.
That seems risky. Very risky.
I would agree. I will be keeping you in touch, though. I would like to perhaps follow up with you, as you seem to have a similar interest in gaining more capacity and freedom to entertain ideas and enterprises as we want.
Oh yes, of course. Here,
Does Torn have a card?
I mean,
Kind of.
at this point, I would kind of assume so.
I assume he'd have like a card, or at least like the Boston Museum fucking card, where normally his mail would go.
That'll work.
okay, of course.
Kind of
Okay.
reach out and take it between his pinky and ring finger with his cigarette hand and kind of look at it, tilt it, look on the backside, tucks it in his breast pocket, and then we'll, with one of his two kind of rat tails, we'll pull out a little card of his own and kind of hold it out to you.
Well, thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Likewise. I look
I had
forward
one
to
business card to my inventory.
future talks with you, and let me send you his information so you may do that.
What's his name again?
I'm sending it to you now.
Are you including an actual address and phone number for him? Reach the mouse lawyer at 555-0245.
Realistically, at this time, a phone number would be like this location. Ask for mouse. Like,
I think the phone system had been established by now. Ask for
Kinda.
mouse. Like, technically, like the phone numbers existed, but you had to tell an operator the number you wanted to connect to.
Is his last name gonna be whatever mouse is in Japanese?
No, actually. I mean, since it is kind of party information, I'll also put it in in-game images just for shenanigans' sake.
I'm curious, out of character, does he get power from officiating deals, or does it have to be one involving him?
Officiating, writing up, mediating, and also making deals himself are the most powerful ones, but just basically doing lawyering stuff is good for him. But making deals himself are the ones that really empower him. Let me scroll
I mean,
through
still, even if you get a little bit of power from just being involved in anything
Right.
as a lawyer, he's probably ridiculous.
Literally just a contract lawyer.
here. Pretty much.
My power
That'd be a fun
grows with
character to
every
play,
signature
actually.
made.
Every 100 contracts signed is a level up.
You know, you say that. That was actually how you gained levels. The power of the deals and how competent and capable they were. I'm trying to find where the hell is his
Hope you like the legalese I whipped up off the top of my.
hell yeah.
That was nice.
There we go. In-game images. There's Eugen.
Would a thrall be allowed to still possess their land rights? Depends on how good your lawyers are.
Which is like the only answer he needed, like, alright.
I mean, I would guess that's very dependent on the country you're in.
But
That too, yeah.
yeah, he's Mouseling deals commie.
Alright.
Ah, yes, I have sought a perfectly equal outcome for this case for everyone, every time. You are fighting over the child. You each will get half of the child.
Oh, come on. Come on, sign the paper to buy the house. Sign the paper to buy the house. Oh, yeah, sign it. Yeah! Congratulations, you own a house.
In this lawsuit officiating the ownership of the residence, you appear to be at an impasse. Therefore, the building will be cut in half. You will each receive one half of it.
It's not Rumpelstiltskin now.
No. I'm just thinking.
Fucking toes
he's
gripping
literally,
and curling as they sign their signature.
he's literally like fucking adjudicating literally like random civil courts cases. Like sign the agreement that you're going to move your fence back 3 inches from the property line. Sign it. Yeah.
Dude, he signs up to be a fucking public defender. Just
Kind of funny is not counting the ears of the horns. I think he's like an inch shorter than Torn.
oh wow.
The ears out a lot.
Yeah, the ears had like 7 inches.
Yeah.
Does anyone want to talk to anybody else out here, or
Nope.
shall we?
Nope, that's it. Torrance made his impression, I guess.
Hello, tall, bronze, and handsome.
Uh-oh.
Nah, Apples is just hanging out. She ain't. These guys are already bumbling around enough. She's gonna end up getting in trouble. She's seen with them too much. They're gonna.
Albus like, I see the abs on your chest plate there. Did they dent over the shape of your real abs?
Did they stamp that over your chest, or are you?
Just imagine Nico fitting his armor. He lays on a fucking table with a sheet of brass over. He's like, all right, hit it.
Hit it! Do it!
Oh man, I like the idea that like that's not how it was done. He has like a 6-pack on the musculata, but he takes it off, and he's got like an 8-pack.
Fucking washed up Nico's like 60 years from now pulls his fucking breastplate off and his gut just goes blue.
I've talked to everyone I want to out here.
Got you?
I got nothing
You
else
good?
to do here.
All right. Slide, please.
Slide 2?
The main lecture hall.
Ah.
The
okay.
Soviets are going to be giving their lecture.
Does it sound weird that I'm genuinely excited for this?
Oh, I am too.
It's gonna be entertaining.
Do you think it would be rude if we got some popcorn?
I mean, there's peanuts, I'm sure.
I do the tongue thing again.
Throw peanuts at him.
Sounds like
No, I
awesome.
meant just popcorn to eat, because it's going to be a circus.
Well, I did steal some cakes from the cafe.
You bastard.
Of course you did.
Where did we put the name of the Soviet guy?
Under NKVD, I think he is the last one.
Ivan
under
Ivanovich?
Under the
No, that's one of them.
representatives.
Oh.
Yeah, second to last one at the very top of your
There
Vienna
it
notes
is.
page. NKVD, Nega Peter, and
Ivan Ivanovich.
Ivana Ivanovich, and Leonid Vasilev. Let me switch
Yes.
to your Muzaks. Could Snake Hot or Communist Hachu be playing this on the piano?
He's using
There
the
we
tip
go.
of his tail for extra notes.
Yeah. His midsection's pressing the different pedals, and he's just doing 3 at once.
That snake is surprisingly proficient on piano.
Yeah.
Greetings, comrades. I am Dr. Leonid Vasilev of the Soviet Ministry for State Magics. I am here today to tell you all about the great advancements we have made in magic in the Soviet Union. Many of you, I believe, have heard the false stories that have been perpetuated by the evil capitalist press like the New York Times and the Daily Mail about how there was a massive famine in the Ukraine. The truth is, with the power of our great Soviet magics, we were able to develop ways to combat and defeat this famine. Using experimental magical technologies, we have come up with a way to water the vast fields of the Ukraine and offset this drought that was created by the kulaks. Now, I will demonstrate. And he waves a hand over, and the commissar comes forward and presents a small potted plant.
Oh,
Why don't you guys roll perception for me?
Ooh, green beans.
10. Oh shit, Nikos is like, I know that plant!
Looks like green beans.
In fact, you do know that plant. The two of you think it looks a whole lot like some of the plants that have been placed around the area. Nikos, you recognize as a plant that was sitting out front of their room in the room's wing.
There's an empty planter somewhere.
No, they just took the planter.
They just stole that from their room, like outside their room.
maybe it's just an example piece.
Now, I will demonstrate the great Soviet magics and their immense power. As part of this, I will teach you all how to cast this spell. It will help feed the world and save all of the workers and peasants from starvation. And starts waving his hands around, very magical-like. This goes on for like a minute and a half. And eventually he kind of jazz hands a little bit. And a little thin mist kind of fills the room. About 40-foot square of mist. And then it subsides. And he says, "You see, with this spell, we have been able to feed the world!" He stands there, arms upraised, waiting for applause.
Just kind of stare at him, just blinking my eyes.
Torin's gonna start clapping confusedly, but he's gonna start the clap.
Apples is visibly kind of peeling her habit off of her thighs now that you just basically got her, like, slightly humid. She's just kind of like, eh.
Yeah, you're all ever so slightly misted now. Torin,
Yeah?
Torin, you slowly lead the clap. As other people start to slowly, confusedly clap. Leonid looks very pleased with himself, and I would like you all who have magic, to add a spell to your spells.
What?
Oh.
It is the people's spell for the prospering of humanity in the region known as the Ukraine.
I'll add that in a bit.
Okay,
Waters plants in a 40-foot radius.
is that a cantrip? What level is this?
It's a level 2 spell.
When we say water's
Oh my
plants, it's like a quarter the amount of water that you need per watering, I think. If it just miss it, right?
Casting time 2 minutes.
Yes.
Require gesture. I'll put this in. I'll stack this all in after session.
Oh no.
What school is this? Abjuration, conjuration. It makes a miss.
Well, what does create water in?
The conjuration.
I don't get this.
To be fair, this is a mildly useful
Create
spell.
water is transmutation.
Oh,
Oh.
well, dang, I did what he did.
Transmutation then. It's not even creating water, it's just making humidity in a space.
That's very useful for some scenarios. What if you want to, like, if the
It's
air's
not.
really dry and, like, you're getting nosebleeds?
I mean, maybe if it was a cantrip, but a second level spell? Fuck that.
Apples, can you stop fidgeting so much? My habit's sticking to my thighs.
Nikos, you have to put it in your spell slots. You've learned it. You now know the spell. You have to.
Yeah, I
have
know.
How long does it last for?
It takes a minute to cast, and it's like create water where the water's just there.
it. This is like getting gifted bad rats on Steam.
A 40-foot area just gets lightly steamed, lightly misty.
Okay, it's what is it called exactly?
I'm
The
statting it later.
people's spell for the alleviation of famine in the region known as the Ukraine.
Very
Or something like
Soviet
that.
coded.
I love this spell so much.
The Soviet army, everybody! Moscow's greatest right here.
Torin's gonna use it to make people uncomfortable. He's just gonna make their room really humid for some reason.
It's not even like really humid. It just adds like 20% humidity.
Gosh.
Is the 20% enough to conduct electricity?
No.
Probably not.
Hey, I thought I should ask.
If all
okay?
three of you cast it at the same time, there might be some, like, driplets of water on the wall.
We're gonna ruin this man's veneer. Everyone do the spell.
That's it. That's the most valid use for it. Is, you know how you have to steam cigarette tar out of like sheetrock?
Oh my god.
Now that the people's spell for the alleviation of famine in the Ukraine, the region known as the Ukraine, has been gifted to you guys, where do you want to go next?
Spell refund area.
The spell refund area? You can't get refunded for a free communist spell.
Sorry, sir. You can only return spell for store credit.
Worth it.
If you wish to return spell, you must give X amount of days service to the People's Republic.
We can schedule for spell replacement and supplementation. Our next available slot is going to be February 15th, 1952. Is that available for you, sir?
That's a long ways away.
You know, I've never felt worse off for having more knowledge.
There's some utility there.
Great, I can make a bunch of mist in the area. Great.
Hey, if you're in the desert, you can dampen yourself a little.
It'll make the heat slightly less oppressive.
You'll sunburn quicker.
All right, so where do you all want to go after this?
Mm.
The Soviets' presentation was about 2-minute casting time. Um, don't forget that part.
Yep.
Suppose, get maybe another stroll through the artifact hall, I guess? This day's kind of wrapping up, isn't it?
Yep.
How big was the area makes again?
40-foot area?
Let's pull them down here. Yep, it affects a 40-foot area.
All right.
Square, technically, not round.
Square.
After all, it is for watering farmers' fields. Round would not be as effective. Can I have this exposed to me for a moment so I can grab some new characters from here?
Sure, I'll expose you. There you go.
Pause.
Thank you.
All the cast just crammed into a room waiting for their fucking curtain call.
Why are there two Nicolos?
Because there always was.
I
Uh-oh.
probably
Shadow clone
copy-pasted
jutsu.
it incorrectly. A shadow clone.
I actually think
Clone Jitsu.
someone dragged him off of the screen on accident at some point.
That might have been the
Another of him
case.
had to be made.
Yeah. Some of them are layered over each other. I think there's a couple that are like semi-hidden. Yeah, there's Craven and fucking.
Put him over here.
There we go.
Yo. Now what you need to do is punch that into Google Translate and get the Cyrillic translation of it.
Oh my god.
I need to upload that to the D&D wiki.
I may put that up on the Reddit.
Although you gotta
the
change the
people's-
description to be.
It needs to be people's. You need people s apostrophe as in multiple plurals.
Well, as in owned by.
Yeah.
At higher levels, go fuck yourself. Hey, that's the highest level the Soviet Ministry of Science has to offer. Okay, level 2 is very powerful.
I don't know if you upcast that, something fucking wild might happen.
It becomes Alabama instantly.
Yeah, if you upcast it, it becomes slightly more damp.
Cast it up at level 8, Devil's Anus.
I assume if you cast it high enough, it just create water.
There we go. I added the
It's
the
just
apostrophe
create water.
s.
It doesn't even change the area. It's just the intensity of the water.
Yo, that looks very Russian. Oh my god. Oh, I love it. Is that all the tokens you need?
Yep.
Alright. Let me hide
Unless
this.
she has a companion who would be with her. Then-
Usually it'd be Marianne and Emmeline, but she's usually kicking by herself.
Yeah, we can have them here talking about the Mexican goblin statue
Yeah.
in
Why is it
Mexico.
so thick. It's kind of cute.
Trying to sneak around, but the clap of his ass cheeks kept alerting the Habsburgs. Check your DM's Knox.
Oh, okay. I'm getting a DM.
DM to the DM from the DM.
I'm gonna name this session the Hidden Message.
There's been like 4 of those now.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah, you guys walk in, there's a handful of people hanging around.
I was gonna lead in. He's gonna greet them as he passes, but not quite intent to stop. He's just gonna kind of do that. Ma'am, ma'am, ma'am. Like 3 awkward head tilts. He's going right for the eagle statue.
Okay.
Roll me perception.
Show me your secrets.
Just fucking caws at him loudly. Ha!
Nat 20!
Let's go!
Well, disappointingly, this isn't for what you think this is for.
Fuck! I was supposed to be
eh.
for the statue!
No, I was about to say roll it again after you rolled this one.
Can I do them in reverse? That was supposed to be for the statue.
Yeah.
I was intending that to be
Nico-
for the statue.
He wants to know about the
Nikos,
statue. Don't take
While I
this from him.
decide, I know you're about to ask for the monkey. Roll me
Yes.
perception.
I want to see this monkey. Why is she so motherly? What's going through her head? Monkey.
Who named the channel subtitle Loss?
Peter.
All right, roll me another perception check, Torin.
17.
All right, I'm not going to tell you how I spec these. What exactly are you trying to learn about the eagle? First.
Why does it look at things when it does, and for what purpose?
Damn.
Hmm. I'm gonna DM this to you.
Someone's just standing there dialed in.
I will understand you.
Like Nikos on the other side also dialed in, looking
Yeah.
at big monkey.
Monkey.
Monkey. It is monkey.
Not like that, as in DC. Nikos.
Oh, I see. I see. Okay.
What's going on?
A lot of typing.
A clickety clack.
Ooh. He's got secrets.
Yeah, lots of them apparently.
He's plotting against us.
Yeah, he's the DM.
Uh-huh.
I'm so glad my nat 20 didn't apply it to that first check. Okay. That's. Okay.
I need to learn more about you.
Pardon?
No, you the eagle. The eagle.
Oh, it is quite interesting.
Do
It's
you,
weird how silent it moves.
do you know what it? Do you have any insight on it?
Nothing apart from what I was told.
What were you told?
About how it defends the city in times of trouble.
Yeah, that's what they told me. Have you done something with your hair?
No, everything's fine.
Okay. What do you mean it's fine?
It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
What do you know about this? What do you know about this eagle? Why don't you roll me a perception check?
It's a weird way to answer a question about your hair. 11.
All right. No comment. He maybe seems a little bit distracted as he's asking you about the eagle, but
Well, it seems to look at people it finds interesting. I just wish I could figure out why it found them interesting, you know?
perhaps it senses something about us, he says, as one of the eagle's heads comes to look at him.
Well, yes, of course it does. But what? That's what I want to know. Like, what were you thinking of just now when I looked at you?
Maids.
Wait, does he say that?
Yes. It just slips out as he's looking at the eagle. His attention seems split, and it just slips out of him.
Maid? What nationality of maid?
What? Oh, Austrian, I guess? You know, the ones that clean our rooms?
Yes, of course. Well, that's not very interesting, Donald.
And I suppose.
I guess it depends on what the maid is doing.
Anyway, it was nice talking to you.
Of course. Good luck with the hair.
There's nothing wrong with it.
I didn't say there was.
He's coming apart at the seams.
This poor man.
You had to go and steal his pomade.
come back. I've got more questions for you, two-headed eagle of an unknown purpose.
He's gonna take a few steps back while watching it. And a few more, and he's gonna walk by the staff. And
Would the would you two of you, Hachu and Torin, would you two roll me perception?
I just wobbled like slowed over here.
19 on the perception.
Always forget where it is. Okay.
Did you see the DM knocks?
Yep.
Damn.
Never mind, guys. Carry on.
25's not high enough for that?
God damn.
It's got to be like a 30.
Nice. Yeah, Torin's just gonna kind of look at the staff briefly, perhaps try to quickly ascertain if it's still in the exact same position it was. Or if it's, you know, the fucking ball on the end of it is the same. He knows what he's planning on doing, so he's paranoid about someone else trying to do it.
All right, roll me a perception check.
A 15.
Yeah, from what you can tell, the mace is still the same as it was when you first came in here.
Okay.
Nikos is making Google eyes at the battleship again.
Everyone makes googly eyes at the battleship.
Uh-huh.
I want it.
Everybody
That
wants
so
it.
was a really
cute.
cool battleship, though.
It is!
Now, hey, you think that spell would be enough water for this thing to float in like an air?
No.
Definitely
There's
not.
no way.
I gotta find a use for it something.
Yeah, as you guys come up to the battleship, it kind of retreats to the opposite side of the little pool from you guys.
There is no use for that spell. It's garbage.
Actually, I think you scared it.
Oh, shit?
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
Well, no, talk nice to it. Maybe it'll come back.
Who's a good battleship? Who's a good battleship?
Why
You
don't
are.
the three of you
Yes, you
roll me
are.
why don't you the three of you roll me a history check?
Oh no.
Oh wow, that one. Let's go.
Oh,
Miko saying a Navy man.
why me?
Torin and Hachu, you remember that when the guy called it over to him and issued commands to it, he spoke in German. Nikos, you can't remember how he did it, and you start like making hand signs trying to get it to come over to you. Start doing it, just stick your arms out and start doing semaphore at it.
Who's a good battleship? No, I'm acting like it's an actual just dog or cat or animal.
That works
Who's
too.
a good battleship? Who's a good battleship?
I don't know.
Torrent's
Like
gonna
I was talking German to this. I try to, if you know.
Torrent's gonna like point his finger and like do a circle in the air and be like, "Schnapp, schnapp."
Roll me persuasion.
He knows like some German words, probably. Oh, 8.
Yeah, that's actually enough in this case. After it takes a minute to register what you're trying to get it to do, it starts puffing a lot more smoke from the smokestacks and starts driving around in circles at a decently high speed.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, there we go.
It's like starting to build a current.
Little whitewater rapids picking up around it.
Anyways, I'm gonna make one more walk past the artifacts, and then I might get to bed early tonight. I don't know. Big day
All right.
tomorrow.
That it is.
Torrent's gonna walk by, look at all the cases, decide stuff one more time. Is going by the staff. I actually want to pay attention more specifically to how this is in a glass case. How is that glass case affixed upon the podium?
Are you being real subtle about looking at it, or are you being very open?
He's trying to be subtle, like he's trying to look for the contact point between glass and stone or wood or whatever it is. He's not like down on his knees, like tracing his fingers along the fucking edge.
Only stealth.
Go full monk about it. Just.
Got your hands out doing the little thing.
Damn.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. It's a wood frame with glass panels inserted into it. Very simple manufacture. Good enough for like clear viewing. It's not something super fancy. These are clearly meant to be temporary displays and not like permanent ones. As you're looking at it, though, the German comes up to you and he says, "It is very nice craftsmanship, yeah?"
Yes, quite. I was wondering how it was constructed and, the security it might provide.
I suppose they seem to be relying mostly on the security of the guards. They seem to have a penchant for noticing when magical things are happening.
Yes, it's just, I'm a curator of a museum back in Boston, and but we don't necessarily have the overhead budget for guards, so any display cases we set up are oftentimes very secure. I'm just surprised that this one, isn't.
I suppose it is likely because this is not their permanent resting place. I believe they're kept in Palais Belvedere.
Yes, well, of course, most historical artifacts are often stolen during transit because they're basically unreachable once they're in their final resting place.
That is true. Still, I think there are many people looking to keep these artifacts safe.
I'd hope so.
And it is not a very long trip to take them back to Belvedere. It is... I need to check the map. It is only 500 meters away.
Well, I guess that makes more sense. I'm curious. Would you happen to know what people are mostly concerned with keeping this safe? I've been around the courtyard quite a bit. I've been hearing some conversations. I could have a tip or two for them.
Roll me perception.
11.
It is a long-standing artifact of the Austrian and Hungarian people. I suppose most of the people in the country would want to keep it safe.
Yes, of course. Who should I give a tip to? So you say if I had one.
I suppose one of the gods. They would likely be the ones to be able to handle it.
Of course.
After all, the best security would just be someone watching it all the time.
You'd hope.
Anyways, I guess Torn's gonna exit, and on his way out, he's probably gonna stop by a guard and go,
That's a nice hat, sir.
Thank you, sir.
You guys, is it custom tailored?
No, they are all provided by, the, Austrian government.
Of course. Well, good day.
Good day to you, sir.
and to the German guy over there, it looks like Torn was delivering a tip.
Yeah. All right. Transition back to your rooms, or is there something else you wish to do?
I'm gonna see if you can just lift off the. Well, I'm not gonna actually do it, but I'm gonna see if you could lift it up, lift the glass case around it by yourself.
Roll me a perception check. I'm assuming you're just looking and not actually like grabbing it and lifting it at the moment.
No, I'm not actually lifting.
Man, you have so much perception. You sure you're not like an eagle person and not a snake person?
Put perception under wisdom. I don't know what else to tell you.
He's looking down at everything. He's very perceptive.
He's got those predator eyes.
It's a very third-person perspective on the world.
Plus, he's got that tongue that's constantly sensing everything. In
There you go. Send you some DMs.
So you said to the
Okay.
bedrooms once he's done?
I believe so. That would be the next place to go if they're planning to all go to bed. And maybe
I don't have
a
any
little-
grand plans, so
That's all I needed to do.
I just found a 40 cal casing on the floor.
Yeah.
None of us own a 40 caliber gun.
Yeah. All right, so to the bedrooms then.
Bedrooms.
Is anything you would like to enlighten with yourselves, or flirt with Pink? Now would be the time.
Oh yeah, he's going for round 3, of course. This is a good thing.
It's gonna be a lot more than Florida.
Just leaning on his door, smoking. Like,
All right, is Pink coming to him, or is Pink waiting for him to come to her?
Okay, fine.
After a certain time, usually Pink has shown up, but it seems like it's taking her a bit longer in her room. If Torrin's willing to stand there for about 15 minutes later than usual.
yeah. He's yeah.
Alright. Eventually you hear a door open and it'll be a little bit of a scuffle and she'll come walking out and close the door behind her. And just kind of like does like a wide kind of stagger of sorts, like angrily walking, looking down. And it's just gonna come walking
my
up
DM?
towards you. Let me see, what do you get?
All right.
Yeah, she comes walking up towards you, looking a little bit more aggressive than usual. Not that persuasive aggressive, but just a little more agitated aggressive. And she's just gonna walk up and like immediately start taking the top button off, and she's just pushing against your chest with a flat palm to like push the door open behind you.
All right. This, yeah, that works.
He's gonna like do the fucking like turn the handle with his hand behind his back and trying to fall inside move.
Roll me acrobatics.
Yes.
He's acrobatic.
A 17.
Yo.
Yes, he is.
Yeah,
I mean, there was always that chance of a nat 1.
I know.
she'll push him into the room very nimbly. Probably shoot a look at Hachu for a moment, and close the door behind her with her tail.
What exactly are
I
you
just
doing
was
out there,
following.
Hachu?
I was going to tell Tilden something, but he is a little preoccupied, so I'm just letting it be.
Well, it's not too late to say something, I'm sure.
Knock through the wall. Little. This dimension door into his room. Head pops
Hey,
up
you
at the
got a
foot of the
sec?
bed. Hey, can I tell you something?
Underneath his couch, because, Apple's mentioned the whole chair thing earlier.
So it's just is
Uh,
this the kind of angry where you want to talk about it? Or is this the kind of angry where you just want angry sex?
kind of angry where I'm stealing your robe when we're done.
Okay, I don't use it much anyways.
Red's wearing 2 of them like a idiot.
Is that why you haven't had a robe all this time?
I've asked for one, they've always brought a new one, and he keeps just layering them on top of each other, so I'm taking yours, but I'm gonna take it off you first. And she's just gonna shunt you onto the bed and start doing her thing.
Yeah, okay.
Fade to play.
Yeah.
Roll performance, the 2 of you.
Competing performance, let's go.
18!
That's perception.
Oops. 9! They both started with
20!
a P. Damn! Okay.
Wow, she's paying real close attention to you. I know. not so active today.
Hell yeah. Finally a good performance roll. Doesn't even need the bardic inspiration.
Use the robe against her.
Congrats.
Oh, God.
Teasing her with the robe. That's what's going on all night.
You want the robe? Mhm.
Alright, unless Hachu would like to go say hi to Nikos or something, we'll transition into the next morning.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to update the information on when we get the glass case so we can have an idea what to do for it.
Hmm.
Knock, knock.
Oh, yep. Yes.
The glass. Hang on. I'll do this in the hallway. But that glass case around the staff,
Mm-hmm.
you totally can lift it up, by the way. It's not bolted.
Okay. Really? All right. Well,
No.
that will make things easier. All right.
It probably is pretty heavy, but you probably can pick it up.
That shouldn't be too much of an issue. And you didn't sense any arcane alarms or warning signs or anything like that?
I'll need to double check, but I didn't see anything.
Hmm.
Is he coming
All
through
right.
grainy for anyone else?
Yeah, his mic's shit.
A touch.
Just a
Oh,
tad.
so I got fans on in that room. It's hot here too. So
All good.
not speaking wildly right now. So
All good. Just double checking it wasn't a connection.
Hey, haven't you Neanderthals over there heard of an air conditioner?
it's on the floor.
Yeah, our house doesn't have that great of ventilation in the winter, or not in the winter, in
Yeah.
the summer. In the winter, it's fine, but in the summer, not so much.
Old homeitis, yeah, I know.
old home-itis. It's not really that old of a home. We have a double wide scaled to 200%.
Oh,
Oh wow.
that's a quadruple wide.
No,
Yeah,
no,
that's
no.
pretty-
Like literally take your average double wide, right, and scale it in every facet to 200%.
It's a barn-like structure.
I've seen
Kinda,
some big ass double wides. Damn, okay.
It's not actually
it's-
a double wide.
Yeah.
No, but like it's got the same layout as one and everything, just bigger in every aspect except height.
Imagine like if there was steps, every step is like a 2-foot height. Like everything's literally just scaled. The doorknobs are like 3 times the size of your hand.
That would be funny, but no, it's like it's literally like you took the average double wide layout and used the corner stretch tool to double it in length and width.
That's awesome.
Oh, that will make
So much floor for
things
activities.
easier.
It looks a whole lot easier.
We'll have to tell Torn that in the morning once he's done.
Yeah, I was gonna tell him, but he's
Preoccupied.
preoccupied.
Just hear Pink screaming robe in the background.
Just a muffled.
What the hell?
Oh.
I was like, oh my god. All right. Nope. Seems like they're having fun.
Sure, sounds like it.
Good night.
Good night.
While we're waiting here to transition to the next morning, a little time lapse of everybody sleeping, except Torin, where we just get the word robe being screamed through a door. Since we started an hour late today, are we going to carry on to the normal stop time or carry on through to a normal 4-hour session?
I would
I'm fine
prefer
with
the
going,
normal 4.
I'd like
Along, yeah.
Yeah.
Got you?
Yeah, I have to open tomorrow, so yeah.
You're good for the normal 4, or do you want
Yeah,
the normal
normal
stop time?
4 would be good.
Okay. Okay, so we're going to go on until 1 a.m. our time.
Would that be in... Wait, so you were asking, do we want to do 2 more hours or 1 more hour?
Yeah, that's what I was asking.
Oh, I'm down for the full 4-hour session.
As long as y'all are willing to go for, I'm around.
Yeah.
I think Hachu is going to be the limiting factor here.
Yeah, exactly. As long as Hachu is willing to go for, I'm around.
If not, are we
Same.
wanting to continue or are we wanting to wait? If Hachu does need to go to bed early.
Oh, yeah, I'm good to go to like 12, so.
Depends.
I feel it depends where we are. If we're going to the heist, I would want him here for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, if we're just
But if,
talking
like,
about stuff.
Talking, going to the blacksmith, stuff like that, then
Yeah.
it's fine.
See my DM, Knox?
Let me see what we got.
Just for some insight, Torin is planning on going to probably the blacksmith first thing in the morning. Because they did say
For
it would be
breakfast?
done. Yeah, they did say it would be done by the morning. So
Yeah, we'll be doing that first thing, so... Yeah,
We can get breakfast at the cafe.
yeah, great idea.
Yeah, there we go. That'll be
It's
ways
a rather
to,
nice cafe.
Yeah, we'll be able to do the blacksmith, do the cafe, do some other stuff, and we'll just make sure we leave off anything that requires the full party till, I don't know, tomorrow or next week.
Well, I mean, we still have an hour until we lose Hachu, so...
Exactly, yeah.
Or I guess 40 minutes. Yeah, if you
So
want,
go,
we can...
go!
Well, we'll see where we are. So, you want to take that, then, Red?
Yeah.
Morning
Oh, dear.
comes, and...
There's a nice bang and knock at your door, Torn.
Oh, great. It's my morning alarm.
Does he remember which store it is?
He does this time.
Okay.
Thankfully. We'll knock 3 times again.
Are you getting that? You know who it is.
Pink
Hey,
is
are you
currently,
getting that?
like, fetal position curled up inside your robe.
Okay.
Torrin's gonna get up, I guess, put on some pants because he doesn't have a robe now. And answer the door like beatnik style in just a pair of pants.
Yes, good morning, Red.
So maybe
Red's
I'm not-
standing there. Where? Oh, let me see what we got. Yeah, exactly. There's a towel laying on the floor, or not a towel, a robe laying on the floor that looks like it fell off his shoulder, and he is wearing 4 robes over each other, standing there looking at you. Where's Pink?
We went over this yesterday, didn't we?
I assume she's here.
Yes, she is.
Can you have her come to the room when she's able?
Yes, of course. You see, my bed is very soft, and apparently she sleeps very well in it. So, it might be a minute. But yeah, don't worry, she's here.
Don't let her have your robe.
Why not?
He kind of leans in a little suspiciously, looks left and right, and kind of holds his robes a little closer to him as he's like wearing it. It's like draping behind him like a fucking cape. They're really soft. She likes really soft things.
Okay, can you please explain to me how that's a problem?
I'm keeping these away from her for her own good.
What happens if she gets one?
It's one less than I'll have.
But wait, does that mean you're planning on stealing my robe? Because, if she gets my robe, you were never gonna get my robe in the first place, so there's no deficit loss for you.
Blinks at you twice. Roll perception.
I mean, that was bold of you, thinking you would know what deficit means. you really should have known better.
At 20!
Well, for one, half of those words he didn't understand. But you're able to tell that the different robes are kind of like got like little words on them, or different like kind of designs or patterns to them, or colors, and you can kind of see how they like would belong to different rooms. And 2 of those are his. The one in the hallway likely was one of Guso's, and the other 2 may have come from Miyafuji's room. And he's wearing 4 of them, and who knows how many more he may have.
Oh, goodness. Okay. Yeah, she'll be over in a little bit, okay?
If she has any robes, have her give them to me, or you give them to me. We can't let her have them.
Eventually, the thickness of the robes you put on is going to become too great for what they're tailored for, and they're not going to fit anymore.
He goes to try to fold his arms over his chest, and he can't quite do so.
That's why he has Guso's. It's the most outer one.
You see what I mean?
She really likes soft things. Just don't let her get carried away with it. And he'll turn around and, kind of trying to act casually, wearing his 4 robes, pick up the 5th one off the ground, throw it over his shoulder like a cape, and continue, like, walking, just dragging him behind him.
Waddling away like the kid from
Yeah.
Christmas Story.
Yeah.
As he waddles away, you see the whole guard just kind of give a quizzical look following after him before looking at you, seeing that you're dressed pretty normally, then look at him and just kind of
Yeah, I don't
shrug.
know either.
Alright, Torrin's gonna go back in.
Pink, you know, I think you should probably leave that robe here. Red seems to be on a mission for all of them, and I'd like
Yeah. Oh, did he steal another one?
I think he's got like 5.
Huh. Don't let
So
him steal
I-
yours. He already stole both of mine.
Yeah, that's why you should leave it here.
Well, if I
Good
take
morning.
anything of yours, I'm not gonna be taking your robe, don't worry. And she'll kind of like chameleon slink her way out of it, just like leaving it on the bed and start getting dressed.
Ah, yes, that was an interesting implication you just drew.
Just kind of smirks, puts her jacket on, grabs her hat off the hook, and give a nice little like pat on the shoulder and just start walking her way out.
Torn's gonna spend an extra minute going through his possessions.
This one's on you, Knox.
Yeah, give me investigation.
A 13.
You might be missing one of your left spats.
Oh, why do we have another?
Yeah, you got 2 sets of them, but now you only got 3 instead of 4.
That is
Are spats side-coded?
Yeah. The way that they're angled, you have the where the laces are. The laces are always facing outwards. And
Torn
also,
is greatly concerned by this revelation, and he spends a moment trying to figure out whether or not he should be more concerned, and then eventually shrugs it off. If he didn't have another pair, it would have been far more concerned.
walking around with one spat on.
Yeah, no, that's not going to happen.
Now you're just missing from the 2 pairs you got. You're missing your left one.
okay.
Does Pink have a foot fetish?
No. She just likes taking little
Thank
mementos.
God.
That's a trophy.
She might give it back at some point. We'll see.
I need something to remember you by. Ah, yes, your shoe.
It's only on his ankles and his like thighs, or ankles and shins. It's
Calf.
not like calves or whatever.
Calf.
Let's wake up. We have to go to breakfast.
Oh, alright.
Complimentary bed and breakfast.
Let's go for a quick stroll on the town, because, you know.
Things.
It'll be good to get some air.
Yeah. But yeah, if they go out, Torn's gonna lead the way, directly to the blacksmiths. First thing, bright and early. Hopefully they work in the mornings. I assume they do.
I would hope so.
You would presumably assume correct because the door's unlocked.
Great.
Here we go again.
Nikos, I almost don't weigh enough to ring the bell. If you could, you know.
Yeah, I'll give it a ring. Ring, ring.
It's not ring ring, it's more like bong bong.
Ah.
A couple moments pass before a man comes out and says, guten Tag.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Wait, can you hear us?
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
No. 9.
Parlez-vous français?
No.
He grabs a piece of paper from behind the desk and writes out on it, do you write English? Before handing it to you.
Oh, it's this guy.
Thorin is just going to give him like a thumbs up, like,
Yes.
He nods his head and then writes out on the note paper, how can I help you?
Thorin will write, we are here to retrieve the brass figurehead that we commissioned yesterday.
He writes out, one moment, please, and then hands it to you and then disappears out back through the door he came.
He wrote, 1 moment, please. I suppose we'll wait and hope that, hope I didn't spend, that Swinton didn't spend $1,200 on a non,
I cannot think of the word right now, yeah.
inadequate reproduction.
Let's hope not.
Just gonna find something to lean on.
Roll me, the three of you, roll me a perception check.
Oh,
Nice.
boy.
Nice.
Atu?
17, 17.
Keep the streak. Keep the streak.
18.
Oh, almost.
All right. Yeah, the eight of you hear shouting in German coming down the hallway. Before eventually someone else comes back and says, "Yeah, here is the figurehead you wanted made."
Yes, can you please show it to me?
He pushes it out on a cart. It's got it's in a little box. I say little, it's like 1.5 feet long, and then like 8 inches vertical and horizontal. He opens the box, and you guys look inside. Roll me another perception check, the three of you.
Got it.
11, 13. Oh, come on. Come on, Hachu. I need a high roll here.
Bring it home.
Oh, yeah.
Let's
All right.
go.
It's almost perfect. The only thing that would be inaccurate about it would be that it's not weathered
Yeah.
like the other one. It's obviously, like, if you look at it for more than a few seconds, it's very obviously made of fresh copper. It just has not had time to oxidize.
This is what we could use the misspell on!
Oh, no.
No way. People are going to complain of water damage in one of the rooms.
That will be 1,200. I almost called them shekels. Fuck. That will be 1,200 shillings.
Yes, of course. 1 minute to count it out.
And yeah,
Take
Thorin's gonna,
time.
I will.
Thorin's gonna count it all out and give him 1,200.
He's gonna take it from you, and then take the time to count it out himself. 1, 2, 3. After a little bit, he seems satisfied with it, and kind of pushes you guys the cart with the box on top of it. Have a nice day. Please do not drop that on our floors.
Yes, of course. Approximately how much does it weigh?
About 70 kilograms.
Ah, that's great. I wasn't planning on that. But that's great, though. Thank you.
Wait, does the
And he-
original one weigh 70 kilograms?
I mean, it was a mace wielded by a giant.
Alright, fair, yeah.
So, Nikos,
Yep.
I wasn't. I can't carry that.
I'll take it. Don't worry.
And, we're gonna have to, dispel suspicion about why we're carrying around a box that looks very heavy. Can you perhaps make it look not really heavy and we can just say it has cakes in it?
That, and when we're heading back, we can pick up a few other souvenirs and put it on top.
You know,
Okay.
could just open the dimension door and get us back into one of the rooms.
Or that. Yeah, that's not a great idea. Let's do that. But in the meantime, breakfast.
Let's go shopping and eat.
Are you guys dimension dooring back?
Are we close enough to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I say we don't want to be seen carrying around a heavy crate either way. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
you take us back.
Whose room are you guys taking it into? And Nikos, roll me strength.
Got it.
Yeah, you have no real difficulty, but you can feel its weight. Like, it is pretty fucking heavy.
Yeah.
Nikos is just walking around casually flexing.
Give it a few reps.
I open the dimension door in Torrance room.
Doing some behind the head arm lifts with it. Just, yeah, good pump.
It's pretty heavy.
In my room. So just because of that relatively high rate of traffic into my room, it seems perhaps one of your guys
Let's,
should be slightly safer.
Let's transition back to the bedrooms as you guys all appear in Torin's room.
Because, I've got apparent Reds tapping over here, and then people wanting to talk to me, and then the pink one's in here, and just having a big box serve as a conversation piece might be a little bit awkward.
I mean, we can move it. It's just a box now.
Oh, yeah, but it would make far more sense for Nikos to have a large box, wouldn't it?
I can put it in my room.
Okay, great. But you can carry it too, so that helps.
Mm-hmm. Gonna open the door slightly and just look around, make sure no one's around.
I just go out, just start, just... kind of prancing around.
Roll me perception. Well, I figured Nikos is leaving first, so get back in Torin's room.
Yeah.
As you open the
25.
door a little bit and you peek out, you see Apple's hanging out here at the... I can't interact with her.
Oh.
Apple's hanging out here.
Give me 1 second. And there you go. Now you can move her token.
Yeah. Hanging out over here by the stairs. Looks like she's waiting for somebody.
Hey, Torn, you wanna go distract that nun so she doesn't see me with the box?
It's just... I don't see why not.
Yeah, Torrent's gonna stall out.
Oh, hey, fancy seeing you here.
I have.
Yeah. Yes, I too often stand around in hallways with nothing to do.
Well, when there's nothing to do, that's what you do.
I mean, where's your other guy at?
Oh, Percy, he's, I don't know, attending some meeting or something.
Fair enough.
As you start making your way out, why don't you roll stealth, Nikos, and I guess persuasion on behalf of.
Yeah.
Yes.
I figured that was what was going to happen.
All right, never mind. Yeah.
Apples is
Apples.
kind of leaning on her left shoulder, looking at you, Torn, as Nikos exits the door, and you just see her right ear perk up. So what you doing?
Getting ready
Just
for
bringing back
my
some
speech.
souvenirs.
Buying souvenirs? That's a heavy souvenir.
Yeah. There's a lot for sale down there, and Hachu, he's never been to this part of the world. He's from Louisiana, so everything is interesting. Yeah.
Looks kind of heavy. Bet you could fit a little golden goblin inside that box.
Yeah, you could. It's definitely big enough to do that. Why would you bring that up?
You know, no reason.
Okay.
So what you doing?
Talking to you now.
Well, obviously. But what you doing?
Thud.
What do you want to know?
What you doing?
Stop. Could you say something else?
What are you doing?
I'm gonna.
She kind of looks back over her shoulder, gives a look at Nikos. Ears kind of perk up a little bit, looks back towards you, and very, very contrary to the kind of nun-like grace and float that she's had, strikes a very, like, cross-armed, one foot over the other, kind of lean against the wall and looks at you. But what you doing? Seriously.
Nikos,
I was just
keep
dropping off
saying that.
souvenirs.
Alright, souvenirs. Expensive souvenirs?
Yes.
By the amount of them, yeah.
Oh, multiple.
Yes. What's with all the questions?
I'm just wondering what you're doing up here when there's nothing to do and just loitering around your rooms, you know? Just standing around in the hallway. Kind of odd, ain't it?
You're just standing around in the hallway loitering.
Touche. But I'm not the one carrying boxes around.
What do you want from me?
I don't want anything. I just want to know what you're doing.
We told you, and you keep asking.
So what'd you buy? Can I see?
Knickknacks, this and that.
I like knickknacks.
Some books.
Can I roll insight on what she's potentially playing at here? Like, if she's generally is just... If she knows something, or if she doesn't know something, or if she suspects something.
What would I roll against that?
Deception, probably?
Probably
Yeah,
deception,
deception.
I would imagine.
Okay.
16.
Ooh.
Damn it. Damn it!
She's just genuinely curious. It's just a nun hanging out in a magic place where she's not
She's
really an
bored.
academic. She's bored, and interesting people that have approached her and kind of been semi-racist or carrying crates around. She's just curious to know. She doesn't need
The
to.
real
She just
secret is-
wants to know.
The real secret is she's trying to trap Red for stealing her bathrobe.
That too, maybe.
Look, listen, I don't know why you brought up that little goblin statue thing, but we have no interest in that.
Yeah, I figured you're not type to go after goblins.
Why? We're good, right?
I told you we're good. I'm not shaking you down. I'm not police. Contrary
It
to
kind of feels
what
like you're
your
shaking me down here.
contrary to what your bodyguards think, I'm not the security. If there's something bad going on here, I'm not the one to go to.
Wait, what? What?
Tori's gonna like lean over and look at Nikos.
Right, well, let's go get breakfast.
Wait, what did you say to her?
Buy me breakfast and I'll be quiet.
Alright, come on.
Alright. She'll kind of brush off the front of her habit, put her hands together real nicely, and just nun meditate walk behind him.
To breakfast.
All right, transitioning over to the cafe this time, right?
Yeah.
I'll DM you who I want here.
I'm gonna use the bathroom while you do that.
Go for it. Here we go. Let me just put everybody up there and you can choose who you want to be present.
Thank you. Zoop. Don't need these guys. And Apples is going to be coming in with the party. Can you use your DM powers to move them to the entrance?
Can do. Boink.
Oh, hang on, don't need these two either.
Don't need Hess and Austria's main man.
Yep. Yeah, that's it. That's who I needed.
Alrighty.
Alright, I'm back.
Hey!
Welcome back.
Y'all walk into the only persons of interest for you two would be Craven and Percy sitting down and having a conversation with each other.
You know, not to press, but I can't help but notice that your colleague is having a conversation with Craven over there.
She kind of waves one of her little hands lightly. Just, he talks with everybody. I don't pay attention to half of it.
Yes, of course. Let's grab a seat.
Guess over here.
Apples kind of walks up and looks to you a little bit expectantly. Can I have that seat?
What's the difference?
It's red.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll just.
That's who
Happily
you coming with?
hops into the little red seat.
Got you? Are we losing you?
Oh no, he's dead.
They got him.
Got you?
Yeah.
There we go.
We may have lost him.
You move him, or did he move him?
I moved him.
Okay. Alright. I believe the menu is currently sitting in the chat as the woman comes up and asks you for your orders.
Oh gosh, I gotta scroll up a little ways. Or is it in
It's
It's
session
not
chat?
that far up.
Session chat. It's right above the
Yeah.
synthetic sapphires and rubies.
And the snake with the top hat.
And the power word shit yourself.
As you can see, we have only professionalism in our chats.
Truly.
Apples kind of looks at the menu, tilts her head a little bit. I'll take the Malakoff Chocolade Tortilla Malikov chocolate torty? And kind of smiles innocently.
Gesundheit.
Did I do it right?
No.
It was
Oh.
interpretable.
I'll take 3 of those. Please.
All right. Turns to you, Torin. Just kind of going counterclockwise around the table. And you, sir?
Oh, wait, the apple strudel. I meant to try that yesterday, and gosh, the marble bundt cake.
All right. And you, sir?
You're gonna try
I'll
to
have the
pronounce
apfen strudel as well.
All right. And I think we have lost Hachu. So.
I am here still.
Oh.
First of
Oh,
all,
you are still. Why weren't you saying anything earlier? What would you like, sir?
I'll have the Kaiser Schmarlen.
Gesundheit.
All right. I will be out in a few minutes. Luckily, that Frenchman is not here this morning.
Yeah. I mean, good for business, I'm sure, but
Good for business,
positives
but
and
it-
negatives.
Well, probably wiped out their entire stock of everything.
Kind of just swaying her legs side to side, just sitting pleasantly.
so apples. Might I ask why?
Sister, apples, please.
My sister apples, of course. Might I ask why you were brought along? Almost never.
Hmm?
Like you gave a speech, but I'm also under the impression that you were brought with Percy up there.
Oh, yes. So, the church works a lot with some of the different agencies and some of the different colleges and a lot of the different magic and whatever stuffs, and the church can't really afford or didn't want to afford to send their own rep here, so in kind of a cooperation type thing, they selected me to speak on the church's behalf and follow along with Captain Percy there and give a little presentation.
Yes, of course.
He's been really nice and entertaining and kind of putting up with me.
So your church often, I'm guessing you're short on funds.
The church is actually doing pretty well for itself. My specific order kind of doesn't get its own funding channels. We're having to still fend for ourselves a little bit.
How do you, I mean, how does that work out? I mean, it's gotta be quite difficult.
Donations and what few connections we already had before one of our leaders decided to allow the Anglican Church to kind of decide for us, including our new garb and our new structure and our new ranks. And she kind of pulls the front of her habit a little bit to show, like, the habit obviously is not normal to the, like, following of Saren, right?
So, what are you hoping to achieve here now that you've given your presentation?
Enjoy it as a vacation. Listen into things I maybe shouldn't need to. Nothing really out of the ordinary. What are you hoping to achieve?
Everything about you is out of the okay. For one, I want to give a great speech. I'm gonna do that later today after breakfast.
Everyone seems pretty jazzed about it.
Which I am surprised about.
I mean, you're a Levencroft, aren't you?
Have more
Yes.
confidence in yourself.
I am just surprised still. Am I not allowed to be surprised?
I don't know that much. I know enough, but I don't know that much. But I know at least the couple names I knew about before I came here all seem to hold your name in high regard. So, I don't know, take that as you will.
You know, we all have our own reasons for being here, I suppose. I'm sorry, why did you mention the goblin statue earlier?
That seemed to be the only thing that would fit in a box that size.
Oh, that's not true. Everything in that artifact hall would fit in the box that size, or almost.
I don't think the eagle could.
No, yeah. Well, I meant almost everything. You see what I'm doing here? Yeah.
You want me to be
Okay.
completely honest and maybe a little bit critical?
Yes.
So you're obviously a historian, you're not the combat type, you're not the fighting type, you're the type that after these two clear out a tomb for you, you come in and sweep and start doing the research. I take it this
Yeah,
one's
that's right.
this one's not really a historian, although he is magical, but obviously isn't giving any magical presentations. So doing more the bodyguard thing, like I believe he did for Huey Long before they claimed he tried to off him until that was cleared up. And then this one, I take it you're a historian, probably of Greek nature, but obviously you're a hoplite, so you're doing the whole bodyguard thing. You don't seem the combative type, so you're probably got these two as bodyguards for you, and I don't know. Aside from you, they really don't strike me as, well, no offense to types that would normally be here. I'm here as a representative of the church to sprinkle a little bit of religious persuasion to a lot of otherwise scientific minds. Percy's here to speak with everybody because he's involved in multiple colleges. Craven, the one and only, is here because, well, his reputation's taller than he is. Most everybody else that's here, even the Americans and the Confederates, Dontrell seems to be a bodyguard. She also offers being a arms dealer and a manufacturer, and
Yeah, okay, what are you getting at?
it just seemed a little out of place. Everyone else that has someone with them is able to offer something. You're the only one here who really has just dedicated security, who are kind of snooping around and talking to people, and you got a box, and you took a pretty special interest considering you're the only other ones aside from the Legionnaire who's been looking at a lot of the items more than 3 times. So I just kind of letting you know certain things are connectable, and I don't know, if you're here to safeguard something, I won't be a judge. And then also the flawless approach of accusing a goblin of thieving and suggesting there might be others who want to steal something. Seems like a good diversion when you want to steal something.
The second part of that first part was not my idea.
Well, clearly.
What do
You wouldn't
mean,
have told anybody that you wanted to steal something.
No one said they wanted to steal something.
So what's in the box?
There you go again.
Should I or should I not? I don't know. Torian's gonna look at Nikos and be like, should I? I don't know.
Well, you're getting back a shrug.
Very helpful, yes.
Yeah, I know, right?
My man. Okay. It's a brass figurehead.
She squints a little bit. Like, for a car hood?
Are you sure you're not shaking me down?
just curious.
No, you're not. You're more than just curious.
If I was shaking you down, I wouldn't be here. One of the church's representatives would be here shaking you down. I don't do shakedowns. I go where ears are needed.
What do you want to get out of this? In every interaction we've had, you've always wanted something out of something. What do you want out of this?
I don't really want anything out of this specific. You've been interesting. You all approached me, so I just was kind of curious and wanted to, see what you were up to. Obviously, the amount of things I hear and the people I see, I don't forward it to others unless I'm offered a reason to do so.
Look, okay. Somebody is going to steal a copper staff from the Austrians. It's going to happen.
Oh. Why the copper staff?
I'm not entirely sure, to be honest, but there's somebody... There are several parties who want it very badly, and if I'm going to be perfectly honest, I would rather the Germans not have it. Or the Italians. Or the Russians.
Oh, that makes sense.
Given the Italians' inclination to not properly care for the items that they receive in well, Germany's Germany right now. You get...
And the communists are communists.
Yes, exactly. Thank you, Nikos.
Huh.
So, if it's gonna have to be taken by somebody, which it most likely will, it should probably be taken by somebody who's going to take the most care of it.
That makes sense.
Does it?
Well, yes, actually. Oh. Ooh, food.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Do call if you need anything.
Of course.
Gives a nice little, very happy smile and nod. Looks at her plates. We'll take one of the 3 of them and kind of holds it towards you, Torn. I trade you for the apple.
But you didn't order... I ordered the apple because I wanted to try it.
That's why I ordered 3 of these.
Of what?
This chocolate cake thing.
But I wanted to try the apple. That's why I got it. I didn't get it last time.
She kind of raises her brow slowly.
What is this?
There's going to be a persuasion check from Apples.
A little bit, yeah.
Is this persuasion against Constitution? Is that what this is?
Oh, no.
I'm going to say, charisma, probably.
Alright.
Go on, make me charisma save as she attempts puppy dog eyes at you.
Just barely passes.
After a moment, she sets the plate back down gently, grabs one of the little bitty forks, and very dainty and, properly starts eating her, little chocolate cake thing. Okay.
What?
Sometimes you gotta be willing to give a little to get a little.
I'll cut mine in half and give it to her.
Gives a nice smile, and as she reaches over to hold her little plate out for you to put half of it on there, she will cast Bless on you.
Aww.
And we'll take her half and start eating it.
Thank you, Nikos.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's it. That's it.
With kind of half a apple slice in her mouth, she kind of looks up, slurps the apple slice, just... So... Oh, that's really good. If you're looking to replace it, because you think the Germans, and I'm assuming those weird arcane societies, are going to try to steal it, and you want to steal it first to protect it so they don't get it. I would say you probably need a distraction.
Yes, that's something we hadn't figured out yet.
So, what you thinking for a distraction?
I have no idea. Why, do you want help with that?
Yeah, perhaps.
So, what are you thinking for a distraction then?
Well, maybe something that everybody is really fond of gets a little odd. If I had to maybe spitball off the top of my head, obviously if anything happens around the floor, all the items are going to be looked at and secured and put away, which means if you try to wait until after something happens, there's no chance of getting to it. So, my thought is, you swap out, which you seem to have made a false copy. You swap it out nice and silent-like, maybe if some of that dimension door or some of that teleportation, maybe a little prestidigitation of some sort. And at the same time, I don't know, maybe you make that eagle go after something, or maybe animate the gorilla to go a little crazy for a moment, or I don't know, maybe the battleship pops out of the water or something. Maybe the walking machine gun gets a mind of its own for a moment. Something loud and distracting that everybody, while they're looking that way, you're able to swap the item out, hide it, and nobody's the wiser. And then when everything goes into lockdown, no one's going to be double inspecting the items. They're just going to be getting them to safety, right?
Yes, that actually makes really good sense.
And if an item did go missing during that time, well, they're going to start searching for that item, which means you're going to need to make sure that staff isn't able to be found on your person in case they do go as far as to check everybody's rooms.
Why do you think an item's going to go missing during that time?
Gives a small little shrug and kind of goes back to eating one of her cakes.
Shouldn't that be an insight versus deception?
That's not a great deception.
Oh.
Fuck!
Yes, finally.
The slightest tweak of her ear, you can tell that kind of rings true in some way.
Alright. So say an item does go missing. Stuff like that happens all the time. I mean, not really, but you think, are you capable of producing a distraction of sorts?
Give and take. I was kind of hoping maybe you would help make the distraction.
It seems like we would be then assuming all of the risk and none of the reward.
Well, you're getting your item, which is the big copper ball, right?
Yeah.
And if something else disappears during that, you just don't draw attention to it. And once security maybe draws attention to it, you just make sure you got your end covered, and nobody points out that maybe your room or the rooms in general need to be searched for items.
I do not respond well to blackmail.
It's not blackmail. It's just a nun listening to things that she maybe shouldn't hear so easily. She gives a little bit of a raised brow.
Torin is mad dogging his food now. He's done talking for a moment.
Mad dogging as in staring at or as in scarfing down?
As in staring at it.
You're lucky. Apple strudels can't take psychic damage.
having eaten the second cake already, kind of looks over and very gentle and kind of dainty, just... So, what do you think? Small distraction, maybe a machine gun starts walking away or something like that, and during that time, you swap out your item and put it into hiding, and obviously once they wrangle in the machine gun, they might realize maybe something's missing, and you just make sure you got your end covered, because we wouldn't want you getting in trouble for anything. And you don't aid in any way with whatever items might go missing.
Sounds good to me.
So, what kind of distraction are you all thinking of then?
I mean, the machine gun's pretty good.
I thought so.
But how would we get that to happen?
I personally don't want to mess with the battleship very much. It's too endeared.
The battleship is really endeared and cool, which is why it'd be really tragic if it caught fire. I'd actually feel kind of hurt. So I'd
It would
rather...
genuinely upset everyone.
I think so. You know, with the belt of ammo and the trigger depressed, considering it has the thumb trigger, that machine gun would kind of fire uncontrollably while walking around in a circle. That'd cause quite a bit of havoc.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Or a gorilla stampedes forward and crushes a couple cases and falls over.
How about both?
Are you capable of doing both?
Aren't you? Well, you're capable of doing one. You're gonna do one. I know what you can do.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I know what you can do. I know, but I know you can do something.
As I could do many things, but okay.
Hey, Hachu, could you... Oh, well, wait. Hey, Hachu, could you both send the gorilla on a rampage and send the machine gun on a rampage at the same time?
Check spells real quick.
Just fucking you imagine this room just wah, 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 wah. Fuck.
Well, I know I could do one or the other. I could see.
However it is you decide to do it, whether you make the machine gun walk away or make a gorilla move around, I'm sure you could figure out something.
You know, I'd just be a lot more comfortable if you provided more help than, mild blackmail simply for tagging onto the operation that we already have.
The help I provide is I don't say anything, and being the good observant nun of the Order of Sarenrae of the Anglican Church, I offer my suspicions to the guards after maybe healing one or two people that may have gotten hurt after the fact. Hopefully nobody does, but I offer a nun's assistance and maybe go to security with, being the listening goblin I am, maybe they need to pull aside and question a certain other kobold here, or maybe a German or two.
I get it. Okay. You have a deal.
She gets the most un-nun-like goblin kind of deceptive shit-eating grin and extends a hand out to you.
He's gonna roll his eyes and shake it under the table.
She'll shake his hand, give a nice little nod and smile. So, when you thinking about making that happen?
After my speech, either in the afternoon, probably sometime after I give my speech.
Alrighty. I'll make sure I'm loitering around, and obviously whenever whatever happens, happens. I'll disappear for a while, but I'll make sure I make myself very present and helpful and heal any damage you may have inadvertently caused, and in my way offer some wise words of aid and innocence to the security to get some Germans and an Italian under their microscope. They're not going to question a nun, after all. She can't lie.
Oh, you're dirty.
Rude.
You know that? That's not rude. That's objective. You are playing like 4 sides right now.
She kind of looks a little bit above you in thought for a moment, and you can see her eyes mentally trying to figure out what those 4 sides are.
This is never mind. I'm sorry. I just. Yes, I'll see you there. We have a deal.
Goody. And she'll stack the 4 plates that she has on top of each other, set the little fork on it, wipe her mouth with a napkin, get up, give a very nice hands together kind of half bow and kind of nun's kind of prayer thing, and will walk away. However, she will cast as she walks away. Give me a moment. Where did I put it?
Gravity sphere.
Oh god.
Oh no!
Where is it? Where did I put it? I don't know where I put it.
Power word uncircumcised.
No.
That's horrible. Oh, where is it? Oh, there it is. We'll cast
Power word peas stored in the balls.
We'll cast aid. Cast aid on the 3 of you, giving each of you 10 temporary HP for the next 8 hours.
Let's go.
Oh, thank you.
Much appreciated, but I'm gonna go and get off for the night because I need to. So
Yeah.
All right. Before you go,
Good night.
I take it you don't want to stick around for the however long it would take Torin to give his speech, then?
sorry.
All right. That means I think we're gonna cut it here for today.
Alrighty.
God damn it. Fuck.
Do we want to do another impromptu tomorrow, or we want to wait till next week? Because I know Torin's got his speech ready to go.
I could do that tomorrow if you'd like.
I'd be down with another one tomorrow.
That'd be nice, because I cannot sit on this for another fucking week.
Yeah, I'm thinking
Same
about Torin. I'm
start
like,
time though.
Same start time of hour later than usual.
Yes.
Get us another 2-3 hours in.
That works for me.
I'd love that, because yeah, I'm sorry, I just can't fucking sit on this for another week.
You good for that?
No, I don't blame you.
You good for that, Hachu?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. Yeah. Expect another double feature then. Shit. All right.
Something about me being DM and sessions running long.
Yeah.
Happens to Star Wars all the time too.
Yeah, we're
right.
expecting
See you
another
guys.
double feature. We'll catch you guys all tomorrow / next session.
Hey, Craven, your mom's gay.
The airplane put down at the airstrip on a cold and gloomy day, and the 6 aboard all knew their homes were very far away. The strife that gripped the forest all around them was their plight. They knew that something out there wasn't right. There were creatures in the bush, and there were soldiers in the woods. There were zealots in the ruins. There was magic that's no good. Grenades were used aplenty, guns and swords brought in, and death. When it finished, only 5 of 6 were left. On the flight back to their quarters, the new place to be their home. The dangers of their future had been surely set in stone. The content of their briefing brought their purpose into light. These 5 strangers had been brought into the fight. There are stories of the Kobold, of Wilhelm Schwartz and Father Peter too. There are tales of the Hoplite, of Leroy Copeland and Hatshu. And while the details of their past and trials were never meant to spawn, the deeds of wondrous company will live on. Yes, the deeds of wondrous company will live on.